According to this computer on this time. Okay, there we go. And I believe we are recording. Is that correct? Yes. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's run in here. Actually, I'm going to part back here. YouTube, the most powerful marketing engine that's at your disposal right now. Okay, now I'm calling it the most powerful engine because it incorporates, again, a couple of things. It's not just YouTube, it's also search, it's other things that are going on within that space. Okay, so here's one of the problems that we see right now. How many of you guys are using TikTok? You're using Instagram? How many of you guys can tell me that you're getting business from it regularly? Out of all of you here, everyone here posting on Instagram? Probably all of you are posting on Instagram. You're posting on Facebook. You're sharing TikToks. How many of you can honestly tell me you got 3 deals from it last year? Yeah, hardly anybody. So that's where the problem is. Short form video is ultimately forgettable. They see you for a minute, and then they're gone. They're past you. They're on to the next video, right? So attention span, it's very short term, it's very momentary, and you don't get the traction that you're looking for it trying to build your brand or build authority in a marketplace, okay? So if you look at what's going on in your feeds, they're just forgettable, right? Buyers and sellers looking for information don't shop that way. They're not looking for the instant fix. They want the deep dive. They want all the information. They want more information and more helpful information. So really, when they're searching is what they're doing. So that leads us to this portion of this. People think YouTube is a video sharing platform. YouTube is the second most used search engine on the planet Earth. It's a search engine. It's not a video repository. I almost said the wrong word there. It's a repository of video content is what a lot of people think, but that's not how it works. It's a search engine. So if you think about it, Google search is transcribing and looking at the content that's on your video. You get to put a description with the video. You get to add additional content in the video. Who here is posting videos to YouTube right now? Okay, let me ask you an important question. At the end of your video, are you asking FAQ questions and answering your questions in video? Okay, so think about that for a minute. Why would that be important? Why do you think that would be important to ask and answer questions in the description for your video content or in the videos themselves? Yes.
Say to extract that information and put it on the search engine, and then also to position you as an expert.
That's a great answer. We got another answer here. They're kind of tied together, aren't they? So another portion of this that people forget about, and I'm going to go into the AEO. You guys have heard about AEO, right? Answer engine optimization. So what AI is powering the AEO component of search. And that's now the Gemini component in Google search, right? And by the way, this works for all of these AIs. Most of these AIs are what are called LLMs, right? Large language models. What do LLMs do? Anybody? They read everything. They consume everything written. That's why you can go in and say, write me a hip hop song in the tone of this, Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain, because it's read all this content. So if you think about it now think about your video and think about the content that you're sharing. The AIs are consuming that data, and the goal is to dish that data up to people looking for that information. So if you do frequently asked questions, that answers those questions and gives AI something to go, oh, this video is about that, and they had an answer for you, right? Yes, sir. So exactly. Tell me the 5 best restaurants near this address, right? Tell me some downsides about this neighborhood. What are things that I should look for if I'm considering purchasing in that neighborhood? Traffic. How long does it, hey, I work in Irvine. How long is it going to take me to get from this home, this address in Long Beach, down to my office at Technology Avenue in Irvine? What's the commutes look like on that, right? That's the important information that people want to know about their lives. Sellers, they want to know, hey, what can I do to optimize my house? What are the best features that I should incorporate in this neighborhood? What are other people doing? We're all curious entities. We want to know what everyone else is doing, and AI gives people a really interesting tool to kind of discover that information. So here's kind of a 60-second, like this is a simple way to kind of build the process a little bit. You guys are still going to be doing short form video, right? You're not going to walk away from that. That gives you an instant fix. You can shoot that. You can upload it very quickly. It tells, your story tells a story simply about what you're doing in a day, but it doesn't give the AI models anything that they can bite their teeth into to deliver to people, right? So short form videos, then we move to shorter long form video. So that's 5 to 10 minutes, right? So now you're able, in a 5-minute video, you're able to answer some questions, deliver some content, deliver some information. I'm talking to you right now as real estate professionals servicing Long Beach, but really probably Southern California. Who's doing business down into Orange County right now? Probably a bunch of you guys are. You're already in LA County. Who's doing business up into different communities, La Mirada or some different, right? Whittier. And I know people that are kind of there, they go all over the place. You guys have your own little niche, right? So that gives you the ability to include content in there for those neighborhoods. And that content is what helps you build the authority in those local neighborhoods, because that content gets ranked and it gets remembered by the AI and by search, okay? So, and then you can go longer videos. Yes.
Is it just Gemini
All of them are doing that. All LLMs consume content, okay? So the only reason I'm mentioning Gemini repeatedly is Doug asked a great question. He said, what's the percentage of people doing search on their mobile devices? And it's over 85%. It's over 3/4 of search is done on a mobile device. It probably is going to be higher than that. What did I say? 87? It's 87 point something percent last time I looked. I'm going to guess it's going to continue to go up. At 1.3 years ago, voice search had gone up in a 6-month period, had increased by 900%. So it went from literally nothing to everyone using it in a 6-month period. So that's going to continue to go on. AI is not going away. So these companies are investing heavily. It helps them optimize. So if you think about Gemini, like when you guys do a query on your AI, how fast does it load that information? Very quickly. So if you think about it, think about all the people querying Google for search content. That's a lot of data that has to be crunched and consumed and basically addressed before it's delivered back to the end user. So there's 2 parts to this equation. You're a user, but you're also a deliverer as well of this content. So it kind of works both ways on there.
looking at our content? They're actually
Consuming it all. Consuming everything. AI right now knows what your electric bill was last month. It knows your address. It knows it knows your usage rates. It knows what time of the day you're using more electricity. Because all these companies are using this right now. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Look, AI doesn't want to do more work. Have you ever prompted something and you did a prompt and it spit something back and you looked at it and you're like, is there more to this? And they're like, oh, well, yes, there is, right? So it gave you like the cheater answer, like the kindergarten answer, Hey, did you do anything at school today? Yeah. Like you were looking for, well, yeah, my teacher had me make a clay pot and then we did a little simple math and then we had story time. And then, right, that was the answer you were looking for. And the answer you got back from this was, yeah. Did you have a good day at school? Yeah. Right. So again, this is your opportunity. You get to go deep. You get to tell the story. You get to include storytelling in what you do. And storytelling is where your messaging shines within local marketplaces, right? You all have unique experiences. I went out on a listing presentation and this is what I bumped into. And this was the challenge. And my clients had this and this and this going on in their lives. And I listened to their story, my client's story, and then I got to give them this advice and deliver this and this and this back to them, right? Now that's you telling your story after your client told you their story, right? So those are the bits of information that we want as humans. We want that experience that you had this experience and I want to know about your experience. Okay. When I was in the 4th grade, I got tied to my chair in Mrs. Christensen's class because I wanted to know what everyone else was doing. Like, what are you doing? How'd you do that? Right. So it wasn't tie like with rope or anything. She used like fabric. I don't know, it was trim. It was like lace trim or something. But the point was made that I was wandering a little bit too much. Listen, I think we're all like that, right? We all want to know what everyone else is doing. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yes. I'm going to say this. I go to open houses all the time. I don't know if I've ever bumped into any of you guys at an open house, but I go to open houses and I go talk to the people that come into the open houses. Now I want to talk to the realtor because you're my people. Like I collect you guys on social media. If you go look at my feed, it's just full of real estate professionals, lenders, realtors, brokers. That's what and I got a few little friends that tucked in there, right? But I ask people when they come in, I'm like, hey, I noticed you walked in with a realtor. Just out of curiosity, if you don't mind me asking, because I'm a kind of a real estate industry specialist, how did you connect with your realtor? Now, as you would mostly suspect, many times it was friends, family. I've known this person. I went to school with this person. But I will tell you more and more and more, I found them on YouTube. Not on Instagram, not on TikTok. I discovered my realtor on YouTube because they were sharing relevant information about the community that I wanted to live in. Okay. So think about that as you kind of dial this back. And we're going to go a little deeper here and see how this goes. So what can you share? Full property tours. Don't do the little quickie. You know what people like when I talk to them? You know what they like? They don't want those highly over-processed quick zooms and all that stuff. That looks great. You know what they want? They want someone with a camera that just walked through the house. Hi, I'm Eric Eltzolt, right? Fake realtor Eric Eltzolt. And let's do a quick tour of this home. And you just walked through the house and showed them the house. And maybe there was a couple of really neat details that they saw. But again, most of the time when you're shooting that, that's short form. I want you to bring this back here real quick because I want you to talk about and consider doing long form video. Talk about a neighborhood, what's included in it, what restaurants are there, what's going on, what schools, what's happening, what are events going on at the school. Include that kind of content. Think about what your consumer is looking for and deliver that in your storytelling, okay? So again, quick list here, full property tours, market deep dives, information. How about a unique feature? Every community has a unique feature in that neighborhood that deserves a story to be told about it, okay? What's the one, is it Rose Garden? What's the one, there's a little community here in Long Beach. What's it called? Rose Park, Rose Park. Like there's little cool little unique little tidbits in every neighborhood that have these really cool stories. How did they get there? Who built it? Why did this community get built? Right? Rossmore, yeah. There's a whole bunch of these. Every little community has these little stories built into it. And I'm telling you, if you started recording those in 5 to 10 minute sessions and uploaded them with and had it transcribe it and put some FAQs in there, you would gain additional traction about that. Okay. Yeah.
What in your mind is the definition or the separation between short and long form video?
Well, long form video traditionally is 3 minutes or under, 2 minutes or under, 1 minute or under.
That's short.
That's short form video. Yeah. And most, if you consume any content on Instagram, how long would you say most short videos are? 22 seconds is the average time of a short form video. 22 seconds. That does not give you enough time to tell your story and have someone decide that they like you and want to know more about you and the information you have to share. Yes, sir.
You can do a short.
You can, yeah. Well, let's talk about that. That's what I would do. I would create a long form video, and then you can take that video and chunk it into little bits. It just depends on how you frame yourself. So if you want to shoot a long form video, don't be in the center of the video. Be off to one side with your information that you're sharing and talking about on this side of the video. Then if you go to crop that in like a tool like Canva, you could take that content, take that long form video, dump it into Canva, crop it so it fits in the short form video, and then shorten down a little tidbit about that, and then break that down. So one long form video can turn into 4, 5, 6 little short form videos as well, all pointing back to the long form video. Yes, sir. Yeah. Oh, I'm not going to go, but you're going to ask me down a rabbit hole for that one. There's 5 zillion of them. Opus. I mean, like CapCut's probably the most common one that you guys are using. Actually, probably all of you guys are Canva users, and Canva makes a great video editor if you want to. There's captions. Anybody use captions? I like captions. I use captions a lot, right? Because it lets me read off the screen what I'm saying, and then it takes my eyeballs and takes this right here, right, when I'm reading, and just makes it go away and makes it straightforward. So there's a lot of tools out there like that. So that would be what I would recommend. What are you using right now? Okay, so I'm a little bit of a weirdo like you, okay? And I don't use anything either. Like, that's my preference. My preference is I'd rather make a mistake while I'm shooting a video and have me authentically be me in the video. I think that's more endearing to people than having the full-on polished, super polished video. Personally, that's just my personal opinion. We've all got them. I'm not saying it's right. That's just my personal opinion. Okay. So here's the other component that I love about this. Short form video is here today, gone tomorrow, right? You do a story, how long is it online for? 24 hours. Poof, gone. I have never been able to figure out how to successfully use Snapchat in the real estate environment ever, right? That seems like the app that you take a picture because you wanted to share a video that immediately was erased because you didn't want anybody to see it. I could never figure out what the good part of that was. So the beauty of long form video is it ranks. All the details that you put on there, those videos stay there for years. They're able to be re-engaged with years later. If someone discovers your channel because you led them there through a series of videos, now they've got access to additional video content on your channel that maybe they didn't have. Are they going to subscribe? Maybe. They might subscribe to you. They might not. Depends on how good the content is, and depends on how often you put it out there. Does anybody have a channel subscriber that they watch every week? I have multiple subscribers and that drop on a Saturday or a Monday or something. And if I'm there waiting on Monday and I'm like, you know, I'm like tapping my toe, like, hey, where's your video? I want it, right? So that's a great way to create urgency in your business too, if you're delivering really good information. So again, this is a great way to just post it and have that content be used over and over again, okay?
So short form evaporates after 20.
Most short form video is gone very quickly. And here's the other part of it that's the bummer. Even if it's really good content, what happens to it? It gets buried. It gets buried by just tons of more short form video that gets layered over the top of it. Okay. It just doesn't have the longevity. It's good content. I'm not saying don't use it. I'm not saying don't stop doing it. Keep doing it. As a matter of fact, for all of you guys that are posting Instagram stories right now, I'm going to ask you the question. I'd put that content on YouTube Shorts. Upload it to YouTube. At least it'll be on the second most visited website on planet Earth, right? It's the same video. It's the same format. Put it 3 places. Put it on Facebook, put it on Instagram. If you're a TikTok user, put it on TikTok, and goodness gracious, put it on the gigantic 3,000-pound gorilla in the room, which is YouTube, right?
So do the shorts stay on your YouTube
Yes, channel. Yes.
channel?
Yes, they do. Yep.
So somebody can go there.
Somebody can access it and go back. Yeah, for sure. It just doesn't rank the same way.
No, that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So the other part that's really kind of cool is this lets you view what's going on, lets you view how long people are staying on there, lets you view different things going on with your videos, right? So it lets you know where they're coming from. You can actually measure that content by looking at your analytics on your YouTube channel. So it gives you back-end information. If you guys are nerdy that way, I love that. That helps me choose better content, right? So I think that's a better option to look at what's going on. You can see how old the people are. You can adjust your age demographics. You can change your messaging. It allows you to kind of grab all that content, right? So again, this is what we had just talked about a moment ago. This is kind of the idea of create one video and snip it up and allow it to make multiple bits of content, okay? Is anybody doing that? Like that's the easiest thing to do. Shoot one big video and then slice it up and dice it and use it, turn it into 3 or 4 different videos, okay? Maybe one long one and then a couple of short ones, okay? So by the way, I'm gonna go back here real quick. Use the transcript for blog posts. So I just did a class the other day on blogs, okay? So I'm not going to go too far into this, but if you think about it, your video content works like a blog because it has a whole bunch of words and has a whole bunch of content transcribed in that video content. So the reason blogs have come back is, again, what is a blog? It's a whole bunch of data about a specific subject that an AI gets to consume, and it can use that to deliver back to people looking for that information. So they really can tie together. By the way, you want to know what I think is the best? Shoot a long form video about a subject matter, post it as a blog with the transcript as a blog post on your website page. And your website page is all about you. It's linked back to your phone number, your email. It has your about, your bio, all that information in there. And then you can share that blog post out to now Facebook, LinkedIn, right? It goes to all these other sources. No, I'm just a fan of just sticking the video, just embed the video from YouTube. Most blogs will give you tools. What do you want to put here? I want to put an image. What do you want to put here? I want to drop a video in there. Okay, what's the URL link to the video? And there's really only 2 pages that do that. Usually it's literally Vimeo and YouTube. And since Google's in love with itself, I'm going to urge you guys to use the YouTube component, right? So that's a great way to do that.
You have a channel, a YouTube channel yourself where you have a lot of
I do.
information up?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
What is it?
It's Eric Eltzholz, youtube.com/Eric Eltzholz. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yes. Yeah, I don't like, okay, so what she's talking about, have you guys ever seen it where someone will do a really long video, but it's just the vertical format, like they were trying to shoot it for a reel, but it's this long video, 10 minutes. So reel, you can have 10 minutes, right? But it's the wrong format. So yes, you are going to have it be the 9:16 horizontal format video. That's the correct format for that, right? So again, a little bit of component on here. I'm just going to retouch on this and we're going to zip through the screen. AEO, what is it doing? It's trying to pull from data that's already out there on trusted information, verified information, and video content as a side note delivers that content. And you get to do it regularly and it doesn't cost you anything, right? Another component that I love, again, I'm going to say this, it's my second option there is video is the answer. I love, and most people don't do this, at the end of your video, when you're uploading the description of the video into YouTube, you put a video, you put the description, right? SEO search is going to look at that. AEO, AI is going to look at that. Ask and deliver answers to questions at the end of your video. Always. Don't pass that step up. That's almost the most important step in your video description, is to include that from now on. Okay? Again, this is long term. So remember, this content hangs around and waits around and stays there for a while. So again, I love this. Google reads your videos. Video title and description. So what is the title of your video? This is, by the way, this is very similar to websites, right? Your video title and description. In SEO for websites, they're looking at a meta title. That's what that page is called on a website, right? They're looking at a meta description. What is this page about, right? So that first option is your meta description. Tags. Tags are not as important now, but I still believe in them because they are a search tool. And so you can tag your content. There's another component that I'm not going to do today. I'm not going to add in chapters, but chapters, what do you guys think of chapters? Do you like them or not like them on YouTube? Who consumes YouTube video content? You know, I like chapters because I'm a bourbon drinker. So there's a website called Artfully Bourbon, okay? And they've got little chapters in there. And so if they're going to do a blind taste, sometimes I don't want to listen to all their notes that they did. So I'll literally skip. I'll say, well, what's their number 3 choice? And I can literally go to the chapter and go, oh, there's number 3. And then it shows the bottle up on the wall. And then they talk about it. And I'm like, if that bottle interests me, then I might listen to that chapter a little longer, right? So anyways, I kind of like that idea. And then again, the full transcript of the video, closed captions, make sure you're incorporating that. And that will help you show up in local search better. And I'm going to show you one more tip on that. Again, actually, I'm just going to say this. Remember, Google owns YouTube. Google owns Google Search. Google owns Google Maps. Your Google business profile is resident on both Google Maps and Google Search. So if you now post a video on Google or on YouTube and share it to Google, you're literally digitally threading, linking all that content repeatedly back and forth with itself. And Google's very happy about that because, again, they love themselves. Okay? So there's no way to share it. If you have a video that you shot for Instagram, your phone saves a copy of that to your phone. Just take that video that you shot to Instagram and upload it to your YouTube Shorts, if you're going to do that. No, YouTube doesn't do that. You're going to have to manually do that. Personally, for me, I would put my content onto YouTube before I shared it to Instagram. Just knowing how big they are, knowing the size of the animal or the engine, I would do that first. There's not, oh, you want to put it onto? Yeah, but it goes in funky. You're going to get more engagement if you just share the raw video to the sites. Yeah, there is a way to do that. There is a share function that allows you to share it. Yeah, we can look at that. But if you share it that way, have you guys ever shared something from your Google business profile to Facebook? Because they give you an option to share that to Facebook when you post it. It shares as Google. It doesn't share from your website. So it kind of comes in a little funky. So that's my only downside from sharing it that way, is it delivers from Google instead of you. So
if you do a short, a long form video, post it to your Google business profile.
You can post it to your Google business profile.
You could update that sort of like once a week.
I wouldn't do an update. I would always post new content. New content, not an update of the old content. Yeah. So let's talk about Google real quick here. Google Business Profile, okay? Because this is just too good of a link to not take advantage of. You want to make sure your YouTube and your Google Business, you're cross-sharing that content from your YouTube back onto your Google, just like you do with your listings, right? You get a new listing, you share, hey, I just got a new listing. It's a home for sale in this neighborhood, and it's at that address, right? So that's a big plus. I would urge you guys to do that, okay? So again, this is just a quick graph. This is just kind of what's going on, okay? So this is kind of what's happening in the cycle of engagement on there, right? Just that's kind of just a natural progression of content creation, delivery, what happens to it, who catalogs it, where does it go from there. So again, it's just a nice little ecosystem of keeping yourself brand aware in the marketplace, okay? So again, just a reiteration on this: create, repurpose, redistribute, get that content out there. Okay. By the way, consistency beats volume. And there's another kind of component that's really cool on here too. And that component is that this is kind of funky. If you've ever looked at awareness on times for video content, if you shoot a 20-minute video and someone only watches 3 minutes of it, but you shoot a 5-minute video and someone watches the whole 5 minutes, which of the two of those is better? The 5 minutes they watch. So watch time on a video also ranks higher as well. So again, this is kind of I'm making this as an urge to you, as a plea to you to shoot really good content that people will stay engaged with, and it doesn't have to be long. It can be really short, okay? So again, short video, great. You get instant attention. You don't get the long-term gain from it. Your goal is to cost effectively, because it doesn't cost you anything to shoot, right? We're recording video right now of this presentation that I'm going to end here in a second because we're at the last slide. And let's go in and talk about the video, setting your YouTube channel up and setting it up properly and including components in there that will help it deliver and show up better, okay? So with that, I'm going to stop the video